Hi, welcome to Love Where You Live, a DeLilly Home podcast.
Here we will talk about all things real estate, community, and all the fun things happening in High Point.
Welcome to Love Where You Live with DeLilly Home. I am Mary Powell DeLilly, and
I am Allison Kelly, and this is episode 2.
That's right.
With-
We have a guest this time. Look who we drug on. Carol.
Queen Carol, the queen herself.
She is here to have a conversation with us about her favorite subject, real estate. So we finally got her to come in. It didn't take much, did it? She found us.
Just a slight twist of the arm. Very, very natural for Carol.
Oh, I've been stalking you.
We're going to get to Carol in just a minute with some conversation. But first off, I did want to mention, because we didn't talk about this last time, is the logo for Love Where You Live.
The new logo.
Yes, the new logo. It is, and you saw it at the beginning of the podcast, it is representative of North Carolina, loving where we live. And you've got the ocean and the foothills and then the mountains and then the beautiful sunshine.
And in High Point, we're kind of right
in the
smack
middle.
dab in the middle.
Yep. It's 3.5 hours, 3 hours to the beach.
3 hours east to the beach and 2 hours west to the mountains.
An hour and a half
Or
depending
less,
where
yeah.
you're going. Yeah, we've got so many places. So anyway. But yes, again, we're here with Carol Young. She happens to be my mother. She is here to talk real estate with us today. And I thought actually the most obvious thing or normal thing to talk to her about is her getting into real estate. And the reason that Allison and I are both in real estate is because of Carol. So it's kind of a natural progression to see how all this started, because I know you're very interested. So welcome, Carol.
Thank you.
Slash
I'm delighted to be part of this. I think it's exciting that you guys are doing this podcast. It lets people really know the inside of you.
So far, it's been fun.
Yeah. We're in episode 2, so
been great.
We're nailing it.
We're learning every day.
Yes,
how
we got
to-
the editing done in the first one, so there you go.
A lot of
I-
our we's are actually MPs.
Yeah, so Carol is here. Carol has been in the business a very long time. I know
41 years.
41 years, and I know a lot of y'all know Carol. And she got in the business in 1984. So it's been a while.
It has been, but it's been a wonderful career. And it's worked out great for my retirement.
Yeah. Carol is
Of sorts.
technically retired, although
Yes.
I'm still working for DeLilly Homes.
She's a referral. I like the referral agent. She's a referral agent.
Yeah, I'm a referral agent. You're right. You're right. It's the best of all worlds. Trust me. I'm still involved, but yet I don't have to do any of the physical work. And at this point in life, it's time to slow down a little bit, because I had a very busy career, 24/7, and I'm loving kicking back a little bit.
Really?
It's
You
been
don't-
great.
You don't miss all the action and the aggravation
I
and the
think we-
happiness
I
and the
think we keep her-
sadness.
I think we keep her
Listen.
in enough. She
Yeah.
gets the.
Oh, I get to share all the
Vicariously.
frustrations and
Yes.
aggravations with the agents at the Lily Home. So it's like I'm living it, but I'm not really having to deal with it. So it's
It's sort of like you're like in your grandma. It's you
Yeah,
know, it's like
grandparent
this,
age,
but
yeah.
It's like you get to have the joy of having the grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
but then you get to give them back. It's like you get to
exactly.
you
Your
get to
problem.
Oh,
refer.
that's a great comparison.
you get to,
because
like-
you're right. All the problems. Here you go, girls.
Yeah,
Yep.
here it is.
So, so you got into real estate in 1984. So what made you choose real estate back then?
Well,
Why?
actually, the truth.
Why?
What's your why?
Knowing what you know now.
What's your why, Carol?
Why did I do this? Well, number one, I was very interested in the real estate in High Point. I moved to High Point in 1970 with 2 daughters, Mary Powell and Angie. And I wanted to meet people and get involved. So I started watching houses, because we knew that we were not going to stay in our present home that we had bought when we first moved here. We knew our family was going to be growing. And so I kind of made it a hobby of checking everything out on the market.
That's like people these days in
Hobby,
Zillow.
yeah. It was,
That's right.
It's the same thing.
she was
Exactly.
she was
Actually.
an original Zillower
Zillower.
before.
I was, but I had to ride around everywhere.
Right, you had to just
Drive.
drive around
Yeah.
to
The
look at
technology
signs.
was not there. So I just rode around High Point, checking everything out. After the girls got in high school, I decided,
Middle school. I was middle school.
you were middle school, that's right. And Jennifer was
Elementary.
elementary, yeah.
Angie,
But
I think
here
you're
was
waiting
the
for her to
key.
drive.
My oldest daughter turned 16 and could drive.
Yes.
Literally,
so she
the
could
key.
do the carport.
Yes.
And I had been volunteering my life away with the Junior League, the American Red Cross, Arts Council, you name it. I was very involved in my community because I was so interested. And like I said, I had been looking for houses and actually had found one, and we had bought a few years back in 74. And so, it just was part of my habit of looking. So I still continued. And we had a very good friend that owned a real estate company, Mendenhall Moore. That's where I started.
Oh, the Mendenhalls.
The Mendenhalls, yes. And they're still in our lives, which
Yes,
is wonderful.
very much so.
But I started working for Mendenhall Moore. When I first approached the owner about it, they were kind of like, "You really want to work?" I'm going, sure.
Why not?
And so
got
I took
nothing
the
else
real
to
estate
do.
course, not really knowing. And we had a couple pieces of investment property. So I thought, well, and that's how I got my husband to agree to it at the time. I said, let me take the real estate course because he really didn't want me to work. I had 3 daughters by then. So
That's why she really wanted to leave. Let's be real. She was like, I'm tired.
It
of
wasn't
taking
me.
care of
It
these.
wasn't me at all.
I need a reason
no,
to
it must
not
have
be
been your
around
younger
these children.
sister.
It
That
was
must have
Jennifer.
been
She's a
it, yeah.
troublemaker.
But anyway, so I took the course. Well, I loved it. I really did. And I was kind of like all into it. And so then our friend saw my enthusiasm. He said, well, our company could use another agent. Why don't you come work? And so after I convinced Mary Powell's father that I should go to work, I did. And I loved it. But I'll never forget Ed Mendenhall and Charles Mendenhall. Every day they could see right away that I had, I guess, a natural talent. Well, I love to talk. I love to meet people. So, I
We
did
call that
pretty
a
good on
natural
that
talent.
part.
We call that a natural talent.
Yeah, I
got
had a
it or you
natural
don't
talent.
got it.
So I would sell a house, and I'd sell a house, and I'd sell a house, and they started coming in every day, and they were going, well, what are you going to sell today? And I'm like, well, I'm going to sell something. I don't know what, but I'm going to sell something because it was just fun. I just enjoyed it. And I think that I instilled in myself the true values of real estate. I didn't think about, closing and making money or my commission. I just enjoyed the whole process of it, meeting people. Because I was meeting people that my friends did not even know. I mean,
It's a great way
Yeah,
to get to
it
know
is.
people.
I know
Yeah.
people all over High Point that half my friends don't even know who they are because of 41 years of selling people
Yeah.
all over the High Point
Yeah.
area. And besides, like I said, I was
Fancy.
volunteering my life away. Surely somebody would pay me for my
For
talents.
these
Yeah.
natural talents and
I
skills.
know.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And I told my husband, I said, if you'll let me do this, I'll pay for the children's college education. Well, he was all over that.
Yeah.
That was
That's
great.
an offer you can't really
Oh, I know.
refuse.
He was like, duh. Yeah, go for it. And I was very successful. My first year, I sold $1 million. And in
That's
1984,
huge. That's huge.
oh, that was unbelievable. And Ed and Charles Mendenhall were going, oh my gosh, oh my
Like we
gosh.
picked a ringer.
I know we've got a top producer here.
And what was your interest rates in 1980?
It was 15, 16, 18%.
Yeah.
And I was still selling houses. That's the funny thing about the market today. Everybody's fussing about 5 or 6%. I'm going, you got to be crazy. Half my career, the interest rates were 8% or above.
Yeah.
But it's just the comparison,
Yeah.
seeing a 6 compared to what was a 3 or two and a half
Yeah.
in some
Which, by the way, 2 and 3% is probably never. Y'all just
Oh,
need
it's
to get
never going to
over
happen
that.
again.
It's not. Gonna
It was
happen
crazy, and I couldn't believe it was happening
It's-
then. So, people that worry about 6%, you gotta go buy a house. I mean, come on, don't
Well,
wait
if
for
the
the
time,
interest rate.
if the time is right,
the time
The
go
time
buy
is
it.
right. Go
That's,
do it. Don't wait
yeah.
for interest rates to go down because it's
Yeah.
never going to happen again. It's just not.
well, not the 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
We're hoping it'll go down a little
Yeah,
bit. So. And we'll
solid
see.
4, 5 would be like,
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Perfect. But anyway, so you've seen a lot of changes over time. But
have.
now you've seen a lot of changes in real estate, but then some things are exactly the same. I mean, there are some parts of real estate that don't change. I mean, they just are what they are over the years. The fact that, I truly believe that when people walk in a house, they know it's the house for them.
Oh, they do.
Like the whole, the
You just
buying
feel
the
it, yeah.
the buying the house, the emotional tie it has to it, the process. I mean, the way you look at houses has changed, but the actual process of going and walking in one and figuring out whether it's for you or not. I mean, none of that's changed.
Oh, it hadn't. And when a person walks in a house and it's the right one for them, and you kind of know it before you take them, because by that time you figured out what they really want, even if they don't know.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's just experience that you can figure this out. And so when you take them in this house that you think is right, you can watch their face and it just lights up and they're like,
that's the other part that is consistently the same, I think, is the relationships. It really
Yes.
is about your relationships with your clients. And like you're saying, Carol, you get to know your people and you know what they want, even sometimes before they do.
they don't
Yeah.
know. 9 times out of 10, they don't really know
So
what they
CC
want.
Beesacker loves it when I say this. I'm like, we have a little saying in real estate. It's called buyers are liars. Not that they're lying. They just don't know what they want until they find it.
It's
They can
so
say,
true.
I have to have
So
A, B,
true.
C, D. And they walk into a house and fall in love and it has not a one of those things in there. And they're like, I never thought I would fall in love with a house like this.
Right.
But I mean, they're not, like I said, they're not really liars. They just don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want until you see it. So,
That's right. Because a lot of times they buy completely different than what they say they want.
It's, it's truly a feel, I think, when you walk in a house. I mean, there's some things you have to have, but then there's other things that are like right out the window, like, I don't care. I'll take that one.
It feels like home.
Yeah,
That's it. It's just a feeling that you can't really describe.
that you love where you live. You're like, I love
I
this
like
house.
that.
I have to have it.
I love
Good
that
job.
motto.
Bring it
Which
back
is,
around.
I know, I try. Thank you. But that's actually the hard part about real estate too, is that it is so emotional.
So emotional.
Oh my gosh,
so
my
emotional.
grandmother used to have drapes like that. Or I remember growing up and we had a backyard like this. So it's an emotional, which makes it very hard buying and selling. Because everyone, well, I mean, if you stop and think about it, everyone is selling or buying for a reason. There's a life change. There's something going on.
Right.
Sometimes it can just be, oh my gosh, I've always loved that house and I want to move. But most times it's having children, empty nesters, getting married, getting divorced, death. There's some life change, a new job, lost a job.
milestones.
Yeah.
Or your second
it's-
knee replacement and you need a one-story house.
Yes. There's always a reason, or most times there's a reason someone's moving. So it's emotional.
Right. You have those investors that look like it as more of an investment.
Yes, as they should.
And one of my claim to fames is the Adams Inn. One day, actually, I maybe shouldn't tell this part yet, it's jumping ahead. But one day after Mary Powell
has an
graduated
agenda.
from college with Charleston, it was working for me. She called me on the phone. She says, Mom, have you read the paper? She says, they're going to tear down the Adams house and build a Burger King. Mom, we've got to save it. We've got to save it. And I'm going, okay, how do we do that, Mary Powell? She says, I don't know, but we got to do it. And long story short is we went to talk to the family and they decided to let us list it. And consequently, behind the Adams Inn was a beautiful home that was condemned to be torn down. So Mary Powell and I went and looked at that, and we fell in love with it. And long story short, that's one of our listings right now. Actually, it's been renovated
Yes.
several times.
Many
But
times.
we bought it, and she renovated it and lived there for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
It was a great home. Another claim to fame is the Kilby Hotel. Now, if you're from High Point, you know what that is, but otherwise you may not know. It's on Washington Street.
It was.
It was on Washington Street till it fell down. But that was a historic property, and that's what interests me. Selling warehouses was exciting, but it's slow moving. And at that point in my career, I was getting so much business with residential that I had to eliminate the commercial. But I loved it.
Yeah.
It was fun. But residential real estate was my passion. And working with
Yes.
people was. And I knew that pretty much right away.
Now we know why Carol got into real estate, but Mary Powell, why did you get into real estate?
Well,
I encouraged her for
Carol.
one thing.
yeah, I was going to say, well, so
The short
again,
answer is-
well, like we mentioned, there's a common denominator here, and it is Carol, as to how Allison and I got in real estate. So I was at the College of Charleston, and I graduated, and I was an art major, yet not good enough to make a living creating art. So I did some painting. I stayed down there. I had my own little business. I painted some murals and some other things, furniture and stuff like that. And so when I decided to move back home to High Point and did some painting there, and Mom's like, well, what are you going to do to actually make some money? And I said,
Small issue.
Hadn't thought of that.
money? I said, I don't know. She's like, well, why don't you go to real estate school? And I said, okay. So I went and took the test. And so that was in 1996. And that was back in the day where you had to like wait for the envelope to come. It was like college. Was
yeah.
it thick or was
Snail
it
mail.
thin? You know? Anyway, I got the thick envelope. So yay.
Always a good sign.
Always
Always
a
a
good
good
sign.
sign.
So I got my license. So that's when we were at Coldwell Banker. And I started working with her, and I worked on my own, and I worked with her. We worked together, and Ann Dallas was there. I've known her for so long. But yeah, so that's how I got into real estate. And then I did it for about 7 years. And then when I renovated Johnson Street, that was kind of like my real estate 101 class. Like you can't teach that stuff.
No,
Right,
that
yeah.
was the best
That's
experience
so much
with-
knowledge.
with
Yeah.
construction knowledge.
Yeah. And then the plumbing, the electrical, HVAC, the multiple oil tanks in the yard. Remember they had 2 oil tanks in the
Two
yard?
oil
gosh.
tanks.
Huge
yes.
amounts. Yeah, they were huge. But that was really when I learned about homes and how they're built and the mechanics. Because I always think, which made me so much more confident in real estate. That with age.
Knowing the ins and outs.
Yeah. And then I did other renovations, which just led to, learning more information. But it's just like with anything, the more confident you feel, the more knowledge you have, the better job you can do. So I had kids, they got older. I stayed at home, volunteered my life away. And then when they
Repeat story.
I was
here.
going to say history repeating itself. Not going to happen with Allison though.
No.
Is when they were middle school. Then I came back to real estate and got back in real estate. And then we opened Lily Home a few years ago. And Allison got into real estate because.
So I got into real estate during, I guess, my first, quarter life crisis when I was trying to figure out what am I going to do. I didn't have kids yet. I was married, but we were planning to have children, knew that I would want something that I thought would be flexible, that I could make my own schedule.
Yeah.
That's
Another misconception.
famous last words. It's true to an extent. That could be an entire podcast, so I won't go down that rabbit hole. But I got my real estate license, instantly found out I passed. They did not have to wait. We went under contract to buy our second house. I decided to join Allen Tate, which is where I met Carol. Mary Powell was not there yet. We came
Like a year.
right about the same time,
Yeah.
maybe 6 months to a year in between. And then I found out I was expecting Mary Claire, all within about 2 weeks.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yes,
know it was that soon.
So I was a little, frantic. Like, be careful what you wish for because you might get all of it at the same time.
That's right, and you
It
did.
happens.
But I had some wonderful people at Allen Tate, specifically Ann Flater, that kind of took me under her wing. And then that is where I met Carol. And I was
Sucked
raised
you in.
I was raised by Queen Carol in the real estate world. Some of the things that I learned pretty on were listen to what Carol says, but maybe don't follow exactly what she does. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But just I had a really great opportunity where before I was really selling a lot of houses, I got to help Carol and Jennifer Wooten, one of just the best people of all time, and Ann Flater, another angel on earth. I got to sit and listen to them work and do their job. And I'm like, oh, this is what I will be doing once I have more clients. So I helped them do the paperwork. But I learned all of that under Carol. And I just watched.
And actually, not to interrupt you, but that gave you much more experience at that point of your career
absolutely.
than ever, because you were writing up contracts for us every day.
Yeah, where I would have been looking at like
had that.
one contract a month or whatever. I was seeing like
Multiples.
4 a week. So that was
Yeah.
huge. And I also got paid by the closing. So that was great.
That's
I'm
right.
like, you guys sell as many houses as you can.
Right here to help you out. No
This is
problem
great.
whatsoever.
But it was such a great experience to be able to just kind of sit on the sidelines and hear what they were doing.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a parachute there.
Yeah,
If
you
you
were a
don't,
personal assistant, is what you really were.
yeah.
I mean, you helped all of us. You
Yes.
were. You were.
Yes, I
You
did.
were.
Yeah, I helped the whole team, and it was
And you
it
were
was
like
such
a
a
sponge.
great.
Yeah, well, that's why
You
it's
were.
best to work
Mhm.
under someone who's a top performer. Because you learn by doing,
Yes.
and it's not like someone's going to have you coming in is going to have 20 closings,
Right.
a
Or
month.
even
So
yeah. So just that paperwork and the
Mhm.
process, you the more you do that, like Mary Powell said, the more
Yeah.
knowledge, the more experience, the more confidence. And so I just feel really lucky that they took me under their wing and taught me everything that I know today.
So
We were the lucky ones.
ain't that so
We were.
sweet? What do you think it takes to be a successful real estate agent?
Yeah, 41 years is
I mean,
a
yeah.
long
Yeah.
What did you do
Time.
that you think led to your success?
Commitment
Yeah.
and being available.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a life. And I know people talk about having a life more today than they used to back when I was really,
that
really at the
work-life
top of my
balance is
game.
now
I know my
important.
family suffered, but most of that time when I was so busy, they were off at college, and hopefully they didn't suffer too awfully much, right?
There's a phone. I mean, as soon as cell phones came out, it was stuck to her ear.
Yeah.
You got to be
Because-
available.
I always answered my phone, and I knew anybody I was working with was programmed to my phone. So I knew if someone I was working with was calling me. So
Well, what happened back in the day when we just had landlines?
I
Yeah.
answered every phone call, every phone call.
You had to sit at your
And you
desk.
couldn't be as productive because you had to go around and pick up keys
Yeah.
at all the different
things
offices. And you had the
signed.
listings, and then you had to return them.
And the listings, it was in a book, right?
Yes.
MLS was a book.
Yes, it was
Right?
paper.
Exactly.
Yes.
But not in the very beginning. In the very beginning, agents would pass out sheets to the various
Oh,
companies. You didn't
okay.
have a book.
So those were the
That
hot
ca-
sheets.
the
That was
book-
the original.
Yeah,
Oh,
original.
That was a hot sheet. The book was something that came in the first couple of years of my real estate.
Oh, really?
The treasured MLS book,
Oh,
which
my
you
Lord.
could not give to a buyer. You could not give it to. Now, I have to say I might have handed a few out when they were old.
See, this is the
Oh, we got them like
do as
every
I
2
say,
weeks.
not as I do.
Didn't we
This
get them
is-
like every two? Well, even in '96, If you
That's
think about
crazy.
that,
Yeah.
how crazy that is. In 96, we would go to the MLS office and you go get this, like, it was like a phone book.
Yeah.
And it had all the pictures in there. And of course, we didn't have GPS. So you had these coordinates that you had a big map that it went
my
with.
God.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it was so stressful.
I don't
Knowing
know
how
that
to
I
handle it.
would have survived pre
Oh.
GPS.
I
I really
didn't.
don't. I don't know
It
that
was-
I would have.
Do you know how embarrassing it is? Someone following you and you're like, hold on, hold on. And just going around and around
Yeah.
like, hold on, let me get my map out and let me see where I am. I hated that. I
Yeah.
really didn't like
They
it.
just have it easy today.
I still get
Oh my
lost
gosh,
with the
so much
GPS occasionally. So
Oh,
yeah,
listen, I'm
I can-
GPS, I'm born and raised in High Point, and I'll put a GPS in to go
It's
somewhere.
it's my comfort thing.
It
It's like my
is.
comfort
Well, it's
device
like
or whatever.
I might not know a back road that might get me there like 0.2 seconds more. So I'll put it in. But yeah, I'm very dependent upon that. Very.
It's so easy to sell now because you just didn't have to go through all the hoops we did back in the good old days.
Back in the horse and buggy.
When we had 1-page contracts, and I remember when it went to 2 pages front and back, and I thought, oh my gosh, how in the world are we going to do it? Now it's what, 14 pages, just the contract, and then you've got all these addendums that go with it. I mean,
It's just
whatever.
be a handshake.
in the mortgage process, especially, Uncle Fred at High Point Bank, I just call him and say, Uncle Fred.
I thought she was about
Uncle
to ask,
Fred?
start talking
I know,
about
like,
Freddie Mac.
It was
I'm like,
Fred
you know?
Alexander. No, it was Fred Alexander.
It's a real
At High Point Bank, and I just call him and say, Fred, I got this new guy just moved in. Well, just tell me how much he needs and have him come by and sign a paper. That's it. That was it.
Like, I'll
It
back
was
him.
so easy. It was so easy.
Well, because they were
But-
paying a 20% interest rate. So
Yeah,
they're like,
no, like,
it's a pretty good
yeah,
return on
yeah.
my investment.
18 was as high as
Okay, all
I
right,
experienced.
all right.
But just think, you say
18.
easy in that aspect, but just think about now. DocuSign. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
We used to have to go to this person's house and then that person's house. And then, I mean, it was crazy when you look back
It's easy.
and pick up keys. And I mean, we always had
Well,
common
it just
boxes, but-
it allows you to be more productive.
Yes. to
Yes.
do
Because I
more.
remember the first car phones. I was the first person realtor to get a car
Phone in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh, no,
right there.
please.
And man, was that like cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
It was the best thing ever. The thing that I think makes a person be successful in real estate is your personal relationship with them. And we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Yep, I
But
agree.
that means, dedicating in their mind, your entire time for them.
Yes.
And that's the key to commitment and loyalty with buyers. I have buyers I've sold 5 and 6 houses to. I mean, that commitment by yourself. I mean, you have to make that commitment to that buyer, to that seller, and they will continue to come back to you because they know it's genuine. And those are today some of my best friends.
You're trusted. You're their trusted real estate advisor.
Exactly.
Because it goes beyond
And
just
that's what makes you successful. And the repeat business, another thing I always say, it's like a ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to keep your relationships going. You've got
Just do
to
the
see
TikTok
them
app.
personally once in a while and at a phone call or
Yeah.
a note or a Christmas card, a birthday card, things like that remind them. Because
That you are thinking about them, like, and I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
important to say that
That's your
it's,
success.
It
your-
is
your
genuine.
ticket to
It's
success
a
in real estate.
genuine. Oh, I wonder how this person's doing. I haven't talked to them in 6 months. I wonder if they finished their kitchen remodel or being their trusted advisor. It means they call us and say,
yeah, all the
"Hey, there's a problem with. I think my sink is leaking. Who do I call?" And
Exactly.
we have all the resources, for anyone that you need, anything house related. Or
Exactly.
even beyond that. Oh my
Our
gosh.
vendors
I mean,
are part of our key to success.
anything High Point.
And so
Yeah.
anybody that I ever used as a vendor, I used them myself first
Yes.
Oh,
to
yes,
be
me
sure.
too.
So
Me too.
then I knew I could recommend them and that they would do a good job. And they knew if they ever let me down, they were gone.
That is
Yeah.
true. I've
Yeah.
heard
And
that
I've been through a
conversation.
lot of vendors over the years.
I've heard
But a few I still use.
but that's part of being a good real estate agent too. I think and being successful is being in the business, and not just being in the business like being a real estate agent, but like being in the business, like
Yes.
knowing the people that deal with houses.
That's part of being in the community too.
Yeah. I sold a house recently, a couple months ago, to someone who has a newborn, and she's like, "Do you know any babysitters?"
Yes,
I know people in the neighborhood. I called them. They told me who some teenagers were around there and got them hooked up. So again, a good agent just kind of goes above and beyond, because that's what they're. And you know what? We're not sitting here patting ourselves on the back like, I went above and beyond for that client. It's just what we do.
I think it's really cool that
expected.
they feel comfortable and confident enough to ask us questions like that. That to me is like the highest compliment, to be
Yes.
like, hey, who do you know that could babysit my newborn? Like that's huge.
Yeah. And there's a trust level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very high
That's
level of
how
trust.
what makes you successful at your job
Well, and
is
it's
having that trust.
and a resource too, which I just thought about this, is which people do not do this enough. Hear me, you do not do this enough. You need to call your real estate agent before you go tear out that kitchen, before you remodel a bathroom, before you add a 2-car garage, before you outbuild your neighborhood. That is a resource for you. Whoever your go-to real estate agent is, call them and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Is this going to add value or is it not?" And then beyond that, are you doing it just for resale, or do you really want that pool in the back?
Yeah.
And if you want it, do it. You're
Do
not
it,
going to get your money
makes
back
you happy,
on it, but
you know, like paint
And
your house
some things
lime
you
green,
will.
whatever.
Yeah.
When we go to sell it, we're going to tell you to paint it back to white.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes. But that should be
your life.
instead of going to a
your life and it's your
designer
money.
or a builder, go to your real estate agent first. I just did that for clients in Hillcrest. I went by there. They're like, "We're thinking about doing, this sunroom addition." I said, "I think that would be perfect because they have a huge backyard with not a lot of seating area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is a good addition, especially now after COVID. People love being outside.
Outdoor space. Yep.
What's your best memory or like funny story or something that sticks out in your mind with real estate?
Well, there's one that and this is a boost to High Point. I sold a lady a house from Seattle, Washington, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And she had lived in New York. She had lived in Texas. She'd lived in Atlanta. She'd lived all over in big towns. And I don't remember why, because this was a long time ago. I don't remember why she moved to High Point, but there was some reason, maybe her husband's job or whatever. And I saw her about 6 months after she had closed. I ran into her at Harris Teeter, probably. And
There's another Carol, isn't it?
Harris Teeter could be a whole
if things are,
podcast.
just go to Harris Teeter. You'll meet all kinds of people and learn all
Stick your
kinds of
name
things
tag
about
on
it.
and go for it.
But she came up to me and she said, "Carol, I cannot tell you how happy and my whole family has been in High Point, North Carolina. I have never lived anywhere that the butcher knew my name." She said,
That is really
we have a very good relationship. I walk in and he knows my name and knows exactly what I want. And I said, "Are you serious?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "That is such a compliment for High Point."
That's the stuff that keeps you there. That keeps
does.
you here. That's what
Part of loving where you live.
I told one of my friends recently that I'm trying to convince to move here from South Carolina. I'm like, I want you to know the highest compliment that I can give someone is to try and get you to move to High Point. If I want you to be in
part of our community,
our bubble, it's
then
like
you're
because
good.
I genuinely think you are a great person. You'd be an asset. And I like being around you because truthfully, I could sell you a house in Winston just as easily.
But High Point is a very large, small town.
Yes.
And our cost of living is so much less than surrounding cities. And there's just an intimacy about High Point.
So I should have said this probably when we were talking about Carol and how us meeting and getting into real estate. This is like the ultimate High Point story. And you guys correct me as I go. But the house that Mary Powell grew up in on Edgedale.
Yes.
Carol's house.
Yeah.
For
42 years.
A long time. My first house was across the street, actually, on Edgedale. That's where my parents, when I was a little baby, they brought me home from the hospital, that house. And we're not sure which. We know it was not Mary Powell,
It-
but one
yeah,
of the
when
one of the young girls.
It's Jennifer. It's got to be
gotta-
Jennifer.
We're assuming
It was
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Babysat me,
Yes.
and now look at all of these years later. Now Mary Powell and
Here we
I,
are.
when we figured that out at one
I
point.
know.
and
And I used to party with your uncle.
yeah, oh yeah, Uncle Jimmy.
But
But that to me is like the most like high point story where it's like
yes, it's so true.
it's generational.
It's just connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this has been very interesting having Carol in.
I do
Thank you
too.
so
I've
much,
enjoyed
Mom.
it so much. And please invite me back.
Maybe.
We will
We
definitely
will.
invite
Okay,
you
we
back.
will.
We'll invite you back.
We shall see. No, I'm just kidding. Carol is full of knowledge, obviously.
Our
being-
historical reference, right? That's how you
That's it. Historical reference. That's what you
I'm
are.
vintage.
yes, vintage.
All of the above.
No doubt.
Historical
I'm
But
vintage.
with
reference, yeah.
age comes knowledge. So she, again, as we talked about, some things in real estate don't change and they will always remain the same. So there is
And one of those
actually-
things is Queen Carol.
Queen Carol.
Oh, I'll still be always around.
I
Don't
know.
worry.
She is a resource for us. So we
And
we appreciate
entertainment.
having-
And entertainment.
Highly entertaining. She actually was in very good behavior today.
She was.
She was trying to act
It's
like an
because this was
adult.
recorded.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Again,
Carol.
for being
Pleasure.
here.
My pleasure.
Episode 3 coming
Soon. Thanks for joining us today. Glad you could be here. Follow us on all our social media channels for more.
We look forward to next time. See you soon.